Steven Crowder needs no introduction whatsoever. We all know who he is. He might be the largest conservative figure. Honestly, he might be the largest conservative media figure on YouTube. I may be wrong, but I know he has millions of subscribers. He pulls in shit tons of views. And you know what? He makes YouTube a lot of money. Even if his channel's demonetized, the viewership on his videos is still bringing YouTube money and some form of benefit in some way. Now, Crowder is a massive figure with a lot of funding, and he constantly breaks YouTube's TOS. I'm not kidding. The dude breaks YouTube's TOS on like a weekly basis, if not more often. I'm talking he goes full in on it too. Like, this dude doesn't like maybe kind of, you know, he doesn't like inch on the line. The dude fucking runs across the line in regards to breaking YouTube TOS, and he just always only ever gets a slap on the wrist, if not any punishment at all. YouTube has basically ignored his entire behavior and his conduct on the platform, which is completely wild to me. Now, if you guys aren't aware, there's been an increase in attacks against Asian Americans in this country, racially motivated attacks, since COVID started for obvious reasons. Conservatives have been drumming up a lot of racist outrage against Asian people in America due to the coronavirus, claiming it's the Kung flu or whatever the fuck they want to call it. And it's started to become a, well, hasn't started. It's been a pretty big fucking problem. Now, a couple days ago, a religious fanatic white boy went on a spree of murders across some Asian massage parlors in Atlanta, and we don't know 100% if it's been confirmed, if it was racially motivated, but he specifically went to multiple Asian massage parlors, those were the places he targeted, and then murdered them. 2 white people died too, but the vast majority of the people he killed and injured were Asian. And the locations he went to were Asian massage parlors. So he was also known for being a pretty angry, religious kind of dude in Georgia. I would not be surprised if it turns out there was some racial motivation behind his attacks. But that's not actually what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about something else. And it ties into something that, well, if I'm being honest with all of you, has already been covered by a lot of other people, but I haven't streamed about it. But I'm adding on a little bit of extra news to it too, because something happened today that could potentially lead to Steven Crowder getting banned from YouTube. Like or at least a serious punishment. Not a little slap on the wrist like he's gotten in the past, but like a serious punishment. And we'll get into that soon. So, I guess the start of all of this drama, does anyone have a link to it? The ultra racist clip of Steven Crowder where he was talking about black farm owners, the one where he's like, where he's posting hardcore cringe. Does anyone have a link to that? Hold on, I want to see. What is wrong with my voice today? I'll see if I can find it right now. Actually, I can probably find it pretty easy. Oh, here it is.
I don't know where you find.
So Steven Crowder has a tendency to go on some hella racist rants. He does it pretty often. Now, this is a clip from a video that he uploaded a couple days ago, and it got removed from YouTube because it was so fucking racist. Mind you, he wasn't banned. It just got removed from YouTube. YouTube has been unbelievably generous with this guy's channel. Unbelievably generous. So let's go ahead and watch. Why is it so low quality? Well, because YouTube took it down, so all we have is a link to it on Twitter. Let's go ahead and watch. Prepare to cringe, obviously. It's Steven Crowder. That should go without saying.
I don't know where you find this many farmers of color, but they did. And $5.2 billion are being allocated exclusively for colored farmers. Farmers of color! Farmers of color! Roll the tape!
We begin today's show looking at a major provision in President Biden's $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill that aims to address decades of discrimination against Black, Hispanic, Native American, and Asian American farmers who've historically been excluded from government agricultural programs. The American Rescue Plan sets aside $10.4 billion.
Got any receipts on that? Yes. It's not like the the American government hasn't been known to discriminate against people of color in the past. Of course, that's something that never happened. Got any receipts on that? Yeah, why don't you fucking Google search it, dude? Brown people farmer in America. You could probably Google that, add discrimination to the end, and probably find a few sources that can back that up.
$1 billion for agriculture support and allocates about half the funds to farmers of color who are, quote, subjected to racial or ethnic.
Probably not enough for him to get banned. Oh, my friends. Just fucking wait.
Prejudice because of their identity as members of a group, unquote. The U.S. Commission on Civil Rights confirmed as long ago as 1965 the U.S. Department of Agriculture discriminated against black farmers, but little was done to...
Wait, really, Saucy Fox? Xander Hall, it was actually removed for COVID denialism, even though Vosh's report brigade was for the racist shit? Jesus Christ, YouTube. YouTube's been giving Crowder so many slaps on the wrist without actually dropping the ban hammer on him, no matter how much TOS he breaks. His video got taken down. We're going to see in a minute how ridiculous it is that his video was taken down for COVID denialism rather than racism. Take it down for both, I don't care, but like, the racism was probably the more obvious and pressing thing going on here.
To address
100 years ago?
Yeah, most happy about the new policy. These people. So, yeah. I'm gonna buy a plow, man.
I'm going to plant that corn.
Go get a John Deere. Barack Obama, mother. I'm the president of plowing that ass. You.
I thought the last thing they would want to do was be farmers. Wasn't that a big problem for hundreds of years?
Yeah.
Isn't that why Arsenio Hall called himself the urban man's Johnny Carson?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. Are people lining up out in the middle of cornfield, Iowa for new dunks?
How would you prove this, by the way? Like, how would you prove that you've been discriminated
You don't
against?
have to. You just
Well, I didn't
say.
get that loan. Sir, you had no credit. Well, that should not have stopped me from getting the loan.
So that's just, I'm pretty sure this is a reference to the denial of the existence of redlining. There was a very common a really common argument racists make to try to deny the extremely well-documented and well-known and academically studied existence of the practice of redlining, something that banks that did redlining back in the day did, was claiming that no. They didn't specifically deny loans or the ability to buy property from to people of color. Black people just didn't have enough credit to get loans, and so that's why they couldn't get houses. Very common talking point. About as anti-intellectual as you would expect from Steven Crowder.
Planted a Hennessy tree, but it's not growing.
Well, technically it did grow, but that shit ain't XO.
I put it in the ground.
I planted a VSOP XO tree. I'm getting in some niche esoteric cognac humor, motherfucker.
Don't white people just go to their neighborhoods and build urban farms and ruin their communities? Isn't that what white
That's how it works.
Detroit. Turns out the soil content, there's a high level of meth.
Yeah, crazy. Whoa.
Wow, I didn't know.
That and teeth.
Okay, I heard a lot of people saying that was like the meth thing, the soil content having a lot of meth was referencing black people, but I think because they were joking about like white people coming in and making they are saying that that like a black neighborhood, if they built a farm on it, would have a lot of meth in the soil. Okay. Yeah. A lot of people have already made this argument, but I come from Florida, okay? I come from, well, very close to a place called Spring Hill, Florida. There is a lot of meth in Spring Hill, Florida. As a matter of fact, my best friend in middle school, his name was Sean. He lived in a pretty bad, I guess you could say, white trash neighborhood in that area. And while we were going to school together, the house straight across the street from him set on fire and burned down because there's a meth lab in the garage. It's a white people drug, okay? It's a white people drug. I know a lot of people have already said this about what Crowder said here with the meth joke anyway, but it is a distinctively white people drug, okay? Like, I don't know what the sociological reasons are behind it being a white people drug. I don't know if it has to do with the way that you get it. What about crystal meth? I mean, that's the most common type of meth, unless you're taking like prescription pills that contain the same chemical composition of meth. I'm pretty sure Ritalin is basically meth, right? Is it Ritalin or what? What is it? That's like it's a pharmaceutical pill that you can take, and it's a prescription, but it's basically meth. Adderall, yeah, Adderall is basically meth. I mean, obviously you could do Adderall, but I don't really think. Search methamphetamine, third result. I don't really care about that in general, but the reason why I showed this is just to highlight how openly racist Crowder has been lately. I don't feel like there's much I have to say about that, but we're going to talk about YouTube and the possibility, I wouldn't get my hopes too high, but the possibility that we might see Crowder's channel get axed. It could happen. And I'll talk about my thoughts on his channel getting axed soon. Let's go ahead and take a look. So Susan Wojcicki, the I presume that's how you pronounce her name. It's always how I've heard it pronounced. She is the CEO of YouTube, and for the most part, I think she does a pretty good job. Especially lately, she's seemed to actually give a fuck about the platform. There's a lot more she could be doing, but still. She tweeted this. Yesterday's attack against the Asian and Pacific Islander community in Atlanta is heartbreaking. Those killed leave behind friends, family, and loved ones. We stand together to honor their memory by supporting organizations like AAAJ-AAAJC. I don't know what these are. I assume these have to do with like, yeah, this is like a civil rights thing, it seems. Cool. That are working to hashtag stop Asian hate. Really cool. Nice of her to, retweet that and to work with them and all of that. The problem is one of the largest creators on the platform, or I shouldn't say one of the largest, but a significantly large creator on the platform, large enough that there's no way that the higher ups at YouTube aren't aware of his presence, especially with how much trouble he's caused in the past, is doing shit like this on a regular basis. So we actually got a banger tweet from Sean, which is surprising because Sean very rarely tweets anything of any value. Twitter Sean is like an evil clone of YouTube Sean that was grown in like a gel sack somewhere. Like somebody stole a little bit of Sean's DNA, then put it into like a vat, and then grew a clone of him inside of some sort of like membrane, and he grew up into being a dumb fuck. So that's Twitter Sean. But we did get a banger from a banger from Twitter Sean here saying, Susan, look at what you host on your website. If you want to stop hate, stop providing a platform for it. Susan Wojcicki. And then obviously we have the notorious, unbelievably racist segment Crowder did where he put in giant teeth and wore some of these glasses. And do I need to describe why what we're seeing here is racist? And also dunking a blonde white woman doll into water, because that's something that Asian people do. It was a very racist skit. I don't think we can find it on YouTube anymore. But he continues. Oh, don't want to spoil that Team YouTube reply. That video is still up on YouTube with ads running on it. Oh, it is. Nice. As are other racist videos from Crowder targeting Asian people. Susan Wojcicki is profiting from these videos, and nothing short of advertisers pulling ads off the platform will make her do anything about it. So, let's contact some advertisers. You can find the Steven Crowder video searching, "Oh my God, Chinese racism." Open it up on your phone. Whose ads are you getting? Post screenshots and the reply to the tweet. This is by far the best way to get YouTube to actually do something about this kind of shit. YouTube only really takes drastic action with this kind of stuff when their AdSense is at stake. They really don't like there being any adpocalypses. The best way you can do this is to signal boost a tweet thread like this and to contact their advertisers and their sponsors. That is how you destroy a channel like Steven Crowder's, or at least get YouTube to act on it. And then we actually got a reply from Team YouTube. Now, I want to clarify, this doesn't actually mean anything's going to happen, but it means that YouTube definitely knows what's going on. This is the official Team YouTube account. Really appreciate you bringing these videos to our attention. We'll make sure they're reviewed by our policy team. Now, Steven Crowder's videos, basically every single one of them. I mean, here, if we go to Steven Crowder's channel right now, do you think we could find a single one that probably doesn't break YouTube's TOS? Because if they're serious about this, if they're serious about looking over his policy, like over his videos with their policy team and like coming to a conclusion, I feel like there's a good chance we might actually get something out of it. Who knows? So here we have lies. Why media still blames Trump for Asian hate crimes. Dave Lindahow hosts Louder with Crowder. And then we also have a picture of Elliot Page here. So you can only assume there's going to be some blatant transphobia here. And then obviously we're probably going to hear some excuses for the Asian hate crimes. That'll probably trip off some censors, assuming YouTube actually cares. New George Floyd riots. What the media isn't telling you. Probably going to be some shit about how black people are animals that are burning down businesses, something like that. Crowder did what? War with Twitter takes a turn. I assume this has something to do with the clip that he put out, the black people clip about the black farmers thing. Yeah, it might have something to do with it. Biden's America, the truth about Asian hate crimes. He's been talking about that a lot lately, huh? America last. Biden's extreme immigration agenda. Probably going to have some xenophobic, racist shit in it. America canceled. Democrats pass insane voter bill. I assume that has something to do with some loosening of voter ID laws. So he'll probably have some racist shit to do about that. Crowder calls out Nevada official on voter roll errors. That will probably have some election, some conspiracy bullshit about the election being fake. Sounds like it. That's also TOS. Huge Nevada voter mysteries, deepen, probably some more of that shit. As you can see, it's not very hard to find some very TOS breaking clips of Crowder on his channel here. So if YouTube's actually serious about going over the shit that he's been posting and the stuff he does on his platform, it's very possible, maybe, he may actually face some serious repercussions of the shit he's been doing. Now, something you have to remember about Steven Crowder is I believe he's on the Blaze TV. I know he's got his own website. He's funded by, I believe, media organizations that are behind him, as well as his fans buying his mugs, subscribing to his show and everything. So even if he loses his spot on YouTube, he will be fine. He's probably going to go to Blaze TV. He'll probably upload his videos elsewhere, and he'll probably still have a sizable audience even outside of that. Crowder is someone who is so unbelievably large that this isn't like somebody like Nick Fuentes getting banned or Milo Yiannopoulos getting banned, where these are figures that are large but not big enough that they could continue to sustain a career outside of YouTube. And if Crowder gets banned from YouTube, there's one really big thing that we have to remember that we benefit from there, and that is his inability to reach new people. These right-wing YouTube types strive on their ability to show up in the recommended tab for random normies, usually young white men that think SJWs are trying to ruin video games. He really counts on his videos popping up in the recommended, them clicking on it, thinking the random shit that he says is funny, and then subscribing, and then possibly even joining the mug club, right? And drinking the dog cum out of the mug, because that's what's in the mug, of course. So cutting off his ability to reach a mainstream audience and to pull more people in is basically the most important thing and the best thing that can come out of all of this. And who knows, it might happen. I don't know if it will, but if it does, better believe I'll be talking about it. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, thank you so much for watching. I hope you did. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe and ring the bell icon if you haven't already and you want to see more from me. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and join my fan Discord. The link's in the description. Donate or sub on my website if you want to support me financially. xanderhall.com/live. You can also super chat and hit the join button to become a channel member if you want to support me financially on YouTube. And you can also sub me on Patreon as well. Your financial contributions are what allow me to keep doing this for a living, and I really do appreciate it. Seriously, though, thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.